17 different kinds of Royal Canin cat food. You name it.
For a while, I laid down underneath my car and looked left, looked right. I was like, fuck this shit. Welcome back, guys, to 11 o'clock with Yuvern.
And Jihan, the podcast where we talk about life, death, and everything in between.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. And this time around, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Like, Yuvern asked me why. Ask me why, Yuvern.
Okay. Why are you excited?
Because somebody's getting his wisdom tooth removed.
Yeah, okay, well, maybe you might be the only one excited for that. Actually, Prisha is also kind of excited for that because she's very persistent on following because she wants to see me being woozy. Even though I told her it's local anesthesia, I'm not going to be woozy. Like, but yes, I'm getting my wisdom tooth removed next coming Wednesday. And actually, I wanted to ask because Jihan got his tooth removed last year. Last year, right?
Last year, yeah.
Yeah. So I actually wanted to know what it was like. Like, how was your recovery process? What do I have in store for me so I can predict my future a bit?
It's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this for you.
Okay.
It's gonna hurt. You have to be mentally prepared for that. But the surgery itself isn't as painful, so it's gonna be like a breeze for you during the procedure.
Okay.
But excuse me, it's just gonna suck for a little while after the anesthesia wears off. During which time you will need some painkillers. But the bright side is that it hurts a lot less after extraction of the tooth than it does while your wisdom tooth is hurting in your mouth. Because when it's hurting, when it's there,
Yeah.
you cannot think. It's just like with that stinging pain, that stinging, numbing,
Yeah.
mind maddening
It hurts the
pain.
whole bottom jaw, dude. Exactly. That's what I. How long did it take before it stopped hitting? Like, because here's the thing, right? I have an exam on Saturday. So I need to have like some form of recovery by Friday.
I mean, I think you'll be fine. By
Okay.
by Saturday, you'll be fine. Matter of fact, I think by the time you get back to KL, I don't actually know when you're getting back to KL, but you'll be
Sunday.
fine.
Okay.
It is my
All right.
responsibility as your friend to tell you that it's gonna be fine.
Thank you. Yeah. So for any one of y'all getting your teeth removed, I hope this was helpful. But it's something that most Indian people, as what my dentist said, don't usually have to remove because we're born with big jaws. But like most like Chinese people have like smaller jaws, and it's very common for them that they won't be able to maintain it. So let's hope even if you have them growing, as long as they're growing straight, you don't need to get them removed. That's a little fun fact I learned. Like,
I mean, for the most part, I think you're gonna be very glad that you had your wisdom tooth removed. Like, I understand that it's daunting, the entire procedure, but the pain of having it in your mouth and not being able to do anything about it, that's much, much worse.
yeah, I guess so. So I think that's something to look forward to next week's episode where you're either going to hear me talk like this or it's going to be like completely okay.
I'm looking forward, and I'm sure our listeners are looking forward. Listeners and watchers too, since we're on YouTube now, subscribe. Uh, our, our watchers will be happy to see you muffling and with the pack of ice.
Yeah. Okay, well, back to today's episode. We're going to be talking about something cool I learned about life in the past week. So, last Wednesday, did I get to tell you about my trip to Genting?
No.
No, right? Yeah, okay. So this is one thing that I thought was very fun. So part
I
of
don't
my
think I
job,
even knew you went to Genting.
really, yeah, actually, it was kind of like for a work thing. So we had to go to do something called like stock take, and basically it's just where you go select a bunch of like sample items from the store and make sure that the count matches the inventory list that is sent to our office to check if there's any variances. But what the fun part of that is once you're done, you actually can kind of like enjoy your time there because it's a full workday activity. Right. So our trip to Genting was on a Wednesday, and we kind of made it like a boys' trip where Pramit and I went. We finished our work, and by 4:30 we were done. So we started off by hitting this place that our friend recommended, Kavi and Ruti, called what was it called? Red Tail. Red Tail. It's in
Yeah.
the top of the where the Sky World is. Amazing place. Happy hour. We played some nice beer pong, and something that was really fun is that did you know you can like have you driven up all the way to the top?
I think so. When you say top, do you mean where the giant Genting stuff is, like the theme park and
Yeah, not where
the
the GPO
casino?
and then you take the cable car. You go all you drive to the top.
Yeah, yeah. I have
Okay.
driven all the way up. Yes.
Yeah. The Chinese temple, dude. Have you been?
No, actually, I have not.
Yeah. It's on the way to the top once you started your journey. Chin Sui Temple. It was like amazing. Before we even got to the top and gone to Retail, we went to this temple and it's massive. It's bigger than Kekloxi. If you're familiar with it, Kekloxi is a temple in Penang for context. With the big Kuan Yin, the goddess, and it was way bigger than that. There's a huge Buddha. I will send you a picture if you want to throw in the edit there. It's huge. It's at the top. You forget you're in Malaysia. I think at one point I was in like the Japan or like it was amazing. Really, they have these swirly incense sticks, Jello, that hang off the roof, and it burns for hours, but it goes in a swirl to the top, and that creates a really nice ambience. The turtles there, you can climb to the top of the pagoda, and just as when you're finishing the temple, you don't have to walk back to where you parked the car. Once you make your journey all the way through that maze, there's something called where hell begins, and it's kind of like you walk into the afterlife, and as you go in there, they walk you through the Buddhist, or I hope I'm getting this right, like the Buddhist afterlife of how you're judged by someone who like puts out all the good things, the bad things you've done, and for the different kind of bad things that you do, there's a portrayal of it like depicted on as you walk, to see that if you committed greed or like theft, this is what happens to you. If you've lied, this is what happens to you. If you've disrespected the kings and the royalties, this is what happens to you. And you walk all the way through that, and after you are like washed off your sins, or if you've done good and you don't have to go through that, that's when you enter heaven. And so you enter heaven, and then there's a lift. You take the lift down, and you're at your car. It was amazing.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I'm still stuck at the fact that you said there is a Buddha statue bigger than Kuan Yin in Kekloxi Temple, Penang.
Yeah, yeah.
Kekloxi
He's
is
like
massive.
exactly. I will send you the picture so you can throw it for them to see. It's amazing. There's a laughing Buddha. Amazing. It was so nice.
The whole going through hell thing kind of reminds me of Garuda Puranam, which is like the Hindu equivalent of like if you do this mistake,
Yeah,
this is your payment,
exactly,
etc.
exactly. Very vividly depicted. It was quite scary, but I guess at the same time, I don't know. It was really interesting to know how they do it. There's always a guy, like people are literally being boiled in whatever not, but there's always the guy at the back you will see who's like ticking off as you've like paid for your sins, kind of a thing.
Does this remind you of any movie in particular?
Onion did.
That movie is based off the Garuda Puranam, right? Which is like
Right.
yeah, which is hell and your misdeeds, etc. The thing is, I can't find that movie anywhere. I have been trying to watch it, and I know that there is a version on YouTube right now that you can watch, but there's no subtitles, and I want to watch it with English subtitles. Please do not cancel me. My Tamil is not perfect. I
Oh
can speak it.
no.
I can understand it. Okay, but there are certain words and certain ways things are said I, that I need to read it in English so that I can understand better. So please, I'm begging you,
Yeah.
forgive me. But yeah,
No.
like I can't find the movie anywhere. So if you have the file somewhere, I'm sorry that we are doing this, but it's not like I can buy the movie anywhere. It's not like I can continue supporting the creators.
Creators are rich enough in India though.
Right, right. So back to what you learned. So you learned about this massive Buddhist temple that exists in
Yeah.
Genting that takes you out of Malaysia.
Actually, it was quite amazing. Okay, wait, here's the other thing, right? Because it's Genting and built by the man himself, Gotong, guess what? There's also a Starbucks in this temple.
So
They were like, someone was asking, and I was like, "Are you serious?" And then I turned behind me, and there's a full-fledged Starbucks attached in part of the building where you buy all the puja, like the prayer items.
the duality of man cannot be better depicted.
Yeah,
Detach
yeah,
yourself from all materialisticness and all worldly pleasures, but also here's a Starbucks.
yeah. People were like the duality was for like there were some people there just burning their incense sticks, and then there were some they were bringing their dogs for walks along, and their chihuahuas being carried around. Like really was the peak of capitalist religion. Like
Whenever I see people carrying their pets around, I think about how I want to do that with my cats, but how that's not possible because I will
no,
never see my cats ever again after that because they will run away and disappear. Not out of
yeah,
like, not out of like not wanting to come home with me or stay with me, but just out of like pure curiosity. They're gonna detect a stimulus. There's gonna be a fly somewhere, and they will follow
yeah.
that fly all the way to China. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's insane. These cats, and you might think, right, it's a cat. You can hold on to it. No, they will peel your skin off your bone if they need to, if they want to get off you.
Speaking of our beloved cats, they had a hefty meal today,
Oh,
a large tuna cake celebrating Mochi's second birthday.
whoa! Mochi's two? That's
Yeah, he's
insane.
two full-grown adult cat, and the other boy is turning two in 2 months.
My god. These
They grow up
guys.
so fast. Even
Yeah.
they,
I feel
when we
like it
had them,
was
they were like,
it was a second ago when he turned one. Like my god. Mochi and miso. Surprisingly, you know how like those two can eat anything at like vol- anything. They just wallop it up. Like even if it's fried chicken that is just the bone. This cat here, right, that we have, Misha. If he eats a bit more than he's supposed to, he gags everything out. Like we have to portion control him because he doesn't know when to stop eating. And then he ends up like regurgitating it all out. And I'm like, what is going on? Why?
it's more common than you think. A lot of experts recommend us dieting our cats, not in a way that we cut their food short or anything, but rather portioning their food for them, because oftentimes they don't know how much they need. Heck, if there's a
Yeah,
lot of food in front of us on a plate, we are going to eat it too. We certainly eat more than we need.
exactly. Exactly. You don't have to tell me twice. I just came back from the Bazaar Ramadan, bought a little bit of everything from the store, ate my heart out. I wasn't even puasaing today. No, I ate such a heavy lunch and then a heavy dinner.
I mean, is it really Bulan Ramadan if you don't eat your heart out?
Exactly. Have you been to any Ramadan places?
I saw one today.
Bazaars.
I saw one today, but we even talked about the one in TTDI, but so far not yet. We are thinking of going to one next week.
Yeah. It's really nice. Today reminded me of Thaipusam a bit.
Oh man, I haven't gone for Thaipusam in a while. I didn't go for this year's one. I didn't go for last year's one.
Since
It's
before
like
the pandemic.
it's like I'm being a bad Hindu here.
There's no such thing. Yes, but you were saying something.
No, when you were saying like, oh, my cats can eat anything, it's actually quite the contrary. Like I've been going through something with my cats, and they have been communicating it to me that they don't like the food that I'm giving them, because I'm so used to feeding them Royal Canin, the
Yeah.
one either for Persian cats or for their hair and skin treatment.
Yeah.
And when I changed the food from that food to a different Royal Canin type of food, so the Royal Canin Fit food, dry food,
Mm.
they don't like it. And then I thought maybe I can change it into another brand of food, and they don't like that either. They straight up don't eat it until they absolutely have to. And
Right.
it showed me just how picky my cats are. They want that atas, that gourmet Royal Canin Persian. My cats are not even Persian cats. Okay.
Actually, that is something I also wanted to discuss with you. Good thing that you brought it up. When we got Misha, we just got I can't even remember what brand it was. It was just something that was low in sodium, so Ate thought, okay, this was a good choice. I suggested Royal Canin because that's what I remembered. But when we went to that aisle was when I realized that there's 17 different kinds of Royal Canin cat food. You name it. A cat with diabetes, a cat with high blood pressure, the breed of the cat, the short. My God, I was like,
Maine Coon la, Russian short hair la.
Yeah.
this la.
and you know what's insane? Cat food is here, like cat food prices are here. Royal Canin cat food is priced here. They are not in the same league. Like they are insanely more expensive.
That should give you a
God.
glimpse at just how atas my cats are.
Yeah. Yeah, but Misha didn't enjoy the dry food. But I think I maybe that's why. Maybe they are just all that picky. I'm still unfamiliar with this because coming from a dog, they eat your leftovers if you have some. Like they'll eat anything. My dad's dog used to eat idli and sambar. And I was like,
Just now, earlier, before we started recording this episode, Yuvern was telling me he was having some trouble with his computer. And he was trying all these methods. And then I asked him a simple question: Have you tried the Indian method? to learn more about this Indian method, stay tuned after the advertisement. Hello, guys. Have you ever been in a situation where you're sitting at home and you're lying down and it's raining outside and you want to sleep, but for some reason your mind needs some sort of subtle entertainment, and a form of entertainment that will pique your interest yet keep you calm and composed, a form of entertainment that will help you get to know two amazing personalities with excellent clothing styles and
designer.
and designer and charisma, yet at the same time not feel so attached to these personalities that you have to get to know them personally. Well, look no further. Listen to this podcast. You can now get Levna Clock with Yuvern and Jihan, not just in audio format but also in video format on YouTube, on Spotify, on YouTube, Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, or really anywhere you want to listen to us. And we hope to catch you in one of our episodes. Please check us out on YouTube, like and subscribe to our content, and tell us what you want us to talk about, or just tell us what you think about our episodes. Now, back to the episode, guys, and now we're going to learn about this
I'm
Indian,
really
this Indian
liking.
method.
I'm really liking the kind amount of sponsors we are getting, dude. Like, it's amazing. It's,
Listen, if you don't endorse your own product, you're not doing it right.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's
We
that's totally not my way of saying nobody wants to sponsor us.
not yet, not yet. We're open. We're open. IKEA, if you want, we use your glasses during the podcast.
In fact, I have been in the talks with this one marketing company, something Lumiso, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
it's
they are interested in sponsoring us.
nice.
So
Maybe
stay
next
tuned for that.
episode. Yeah. We'll have that discussion. Alright, so this Indian method, right? I feel like I don't even know if it's really a surprise, but it was literally restarting the computer and everything found a way to fix itself. The Wi-Fi couldn't be found, it was found. The video was lagging, it's not lagging. The audio wasn't playing, the audio is playing. And everything just worked. And I'm like, sometimes I don't know if it's just how Windows likes to throw 15,000 drivers to get your computer to run normally. Oh, what?
It works for smartphones too.
Yeah, I'm a huge like Android advocate, but I feel like I cannot say the same about Windows. They are better than Mac, but they are severely more troubleshooty, buggy to use. No matter what system, what version you're on.
I think the time has come where we cannot necessarily say that a Windows PC or a graphics card, an Nvidia graphics card is performing better than a Mac even.
That is true. That is true. That
Because
is
now
true.
this Apple, what they're doing is they're stacking their chips into one device. You want an M2 chip? Sorry, one's not enough. I'll put two in for you.
Yeah, let's just put two and call it. Oh, it's, what M1 Ultra. Insane, dude.
But
There
let
was
me tell
this.
you.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So let me quickly tell you this story about how I hard rebooted my car. I we were supposed to go out one day. We were supposed to go out one day, and I can't remember where we were going. I think I was going on a date with my partner, and the car wouldn't start. Like, listen, we were all dressed up and looking real pretty, and I was stuck there trying to start my car for half an hour, dripping wet, and uh, and Janika was trying to like Google online like how to fix this problem with the X70. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I have a Proton X70, and if you guys don't know, that car relies on software a lot. And so when something goes wrong with the software, shit happens. You can't start your car. And I was calling the Proton hotline. I was calling the service center hotline. I was doing 1001 things, and nothing was working. And I followed some guy's random Facebook post who apparently had the same problem that I was having, the same problem that a lot of people were having apparently, and it didn't work. He expected me to go to the back of the car, go under the car, and look behind the tire and look for a knob and unplug it and replug it. And I looked under my car for a while. I laid down underneath my car and looked left, looked right. I was like, fuck this shit. Ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm finding anything here. Ain't no way I'm solving any problems. I was like, what advice would I give myself if I needed advice to solve this problem? And I told myself, well, if it was a computer or a phone, right, like a hard
Yeah.
reboot, right, like if you're using a phone, there's probably like a few buttons you can press and hold, and it will like hard reboot your device or soft reboot your device. I am not
Yeah.
sure. I'm not sure if I'm using the term correctly. I apologize if I am. If I'm not using the term correctly, but essentially what I did was I pushed two buttons in the car 5 times. Settle. Car working fine. Until now, the car is working fine. I should post that
God.
solution on one of the Proton X70 forums, because no one said that. No one talked about that. And I tried every other solution. I tried every other button combination. Nothing worked. Just pushing two very
Yeah.
specific buttons 5 times each worked. I,
Amazing.
that
Yeah.
this
But
actually
what
leads
was
me
the issue? It couldn't start, is it? Like, or it started but didn't want to.
like the car turns on, like when you enter the car, you press the start button, the car turns on, but the engine doesn't turn on. So
Oh.
no no acceleration,
Yeah.
and I couldn't move the steering wheel, I couldn't press the brake, and I couldn't, like, I can move the gears, but it wasn't doing anything, and it was stuck in like a weird parking situation. I think it was the auto hold feature that was causing the problem. So if for those of you guys who don't know, the auto hold feature is a feature in which if I'm driving and if I'm stuck in a traffic jam, and if I put my foot on the brake pedal hard enough, the car parks itself until I put my foot back on the accelerator. So I don't have to shift my gear into neutral or into park to stop my car, which is very convenient because it can be like troubling and your foot can hurt. So it's nice to keep your foot off the brake pedal while you're stuck in a traffic jam.
Yeah.
But I think that was the feature that caused the problem. The car couldn't like figure out whether it was in park mode or not, something along those lines.
Sure.
And
I'm
I'm
just
sorry that I
looking it
cut
up
you off
also.
earlier, but you were.
No. I was just looking up the issue, and yeah, you're right. A lot of people are complaining about it. It's kind of crazy that Proton hasn't addressed this. I haven't actually heard about it anywhere also on the news. Interesting. Okay,
That
so
being said, if somebody is having the same problem, try my method, see if it works. I think it was the auto hold button that I pressed 5 times, and there's a button with like squiggly lines. Press that 5 times, it should work. Okay, sorry, went back to you.
no, okay, yeah, no. Back to I guess the M1. The day there was this thing where you remember how at one point they sold a PC that was looked like a cheese grater front. It's a huge
Yes,
thing, costed like 30,000 USD
with like wheels on it, right?
with like wheels that cost $100 each or something like that. Right? It was insane. That thing was like if you spec'd it out fully and if you wanted to resell it to Apple, like their trade-in program to get an M1 Ultra or whatever not, the trade-in value of that 30,000 PC that's not even more than 3 years old by the way is less than 900 USD. It doesn't even buy you an iPhone. And that's
Wait,
just the most, yeah,
how much am I buying that PC for originally?
30,000 USD, 29, 28K if you spec it out.
And I'm selling it for 900.
Yeah, that's what Apple would buy it for from you.
So
Can you imagine a user that spent that money and then is now looking at like this $6,000 full specced out M1 Ultra?
I was just beginning to endorse Apple. I was just beginning to, I was like, yeah, the M1, the M2 chip is good, and then Apple does this kind of nonsense.
Yeah. They really humbled Intel, which is good. AMD and Apple did a good job at humbling Intel to boost their performance. At one point, I think there was no hype anymore, but it's nice to see the competition now. Really, it's getting really good.
If I'm not mistaken, Intel also released a graphics card, right? Recently.
Yeah, but it was quite embarrassing lah. It was so bad that they said they won't release another one until 4 or 5 years when they figure out what they're doing.
Nvidia and AMD and Apple and these guys, they have been in the game for a long time. They have been doing R&D for a long time. They know what works and what doesn't, what not to release to the public yet, so that they can milk us for as much money as possible.
Yeah,
Intel has been making computer processors, which is an entirely different thing.
yeah. It's a fun thing. Like today I went out with some colleagues and they're asking me, "Oh, like what do you do? Do you game?" And it immediately just brought me back to the pandemic, where we actually could say that yeah, we game. Like
Oh, there were a number of games that we played. We played Phasmophobia, we played The Forest, even
Yeah.
Minecraft. We had our own realm, our own world in Minecraft that we were paying for.
I just want to show our video audiences that this is the graphics card that Jihan gifted me that is now disassembled because that's how long it's been since I turned on the PC.
Wait a minute. Why is the graphics card not in your PC? Wait, what happened to your PC?
There's no PC. There's the case and the stuff that I bought to upgrade. Remember when I went with you and stuff? I sold that to my sister because I wanted to build another system. So then I've gotten all the parts with like the upgraded CPU and stuff that I thrifted from Carousel. So I kind of got a better deal because I that's what I enjoyed more. I think we've spoken about this before. I don't really enjoy the idea of just going to one shop, buying everything and putting it together. The whole joy of it was finding that bang for buck deal or like negotiating on Carousel and stuff like that. So I thought, what am I doing? Put this together in 2 days and I have no joy anymore. So I immediately gave it to my sister because she was looking for a rig as well and got all the parts that were originally from my PC, which was the graphics card that you gave, the CPU, motherboard, power supply, and am now scouting for only one part left, which is a case. And once I get that, I would have built this for accumulated less than 800, 700 ringgit. And it's a Ryzen 5 1660 Super setup, which is more than enough for anyone, if you ask me.
I
Unless
mean,
it's your Cyberpunk at 4K players. Unless it's
now with the RTX 40 series, it's unimaginable just what's possible. I was just watching the release for the Unreal 5
Yo, do you see
super super hyper realistic.
The Rivian car, right? That goes on the water and stuff like that. My God, the way the pebbles like flew off
It
when he was going
looks
on it.
like it's real life. It looks like it's real life. I wouldn't be able to tell that it's a generation. It's not even just a computer generation. It's actively generating as as you traverse the world, and that's
Yeah,
what blows my mind. They even had like a short demo of the artist like redesigning the world, and it's so seamless. It's scary how seamless it is.
yeah. He just like put threw something on and he recreated the terrain to blend with it. He created a tower, something like that, and I'm like, how the hell did you do this in a jungle? Like,
I will leave a link for that particular demo video in the description for those of you who are interested.
yeah, yes, yes, yes. We are reaching. What? How many minutes are we in?
We are
This.
about at the 34-minute mark. Yeah, it's about a good time to start wrapping up, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard episode to name, isn't it? It's going to be.
Often the best episodes aren't about one thing.
Yeah. What are we going to focus on? Getting Proton X70 views to watch their fix? Are we going to get Apple users to hate us more? Like,
You have to trust the digital marketer to take take all the little things that were discussed and find the words to that can describe every single thing. If you paid attention to in our last episode, our first episode, I picked a title that could relate to every single thing that we were talking about.
exactly. It was amazing, actually. When I woke up first thing in the morning and it was already up. It was the first thing I saw before I even started work, and it was beautiful. I don't mean to blow our own horn, but like it's so fun getting back to doing this, and thank you guys for tuning in as well. So really appreciate it. We will catch you guys next week. And any last words from you, Jello?
I mean, I just want to say thanks to all of you who have been there before and who are back now listening to us, staying up all night to edit the video and post the video by the time the sun rises was very reminiscent of when we started this podcast. When Yuvern and I
Yeah,
would stay up until 7 a.m. rendering the video, editing it bit by bit to make sure that that it was good. And we really enjoy doing this, you know. So we hope
It's
that you
so
enjoy
fun.
our content too.
I don't know whether we've told you this, but when we first started, it was solely of one system, which was Jihan's Surface Pro 7 and integrated graphics rendering out. Oh my god, it took like hours, dude. Hours and hours to pop out a video. Oh, amazing times. We spent all night catching up and talking while letting that thing render.
I
The
think
sun
it
would be
goes to
up,
show.
we would post it and go to sleep. That's how it was.
I think it just goes to show that if you enjoy something, you will find any means to execute it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Yuvern, for being my
Yes.
partner in this exploration of ours, in this journey of ours.
Thank you, Jello. And we will
And
catch you guys.
yeah, we hope to catch you in the next one. Thank you, guys.